Hi everybody, happy Valentine's Day. Well, technically it's Valentine's Day here, oh no. But it's Valentine's Day at home too, so yeah, happy Valentine's Day everybody. I hope you enjoy it, even if you're single. You don't have to hate Valentine's Day just because you're single. You still have friends who love you, family who loves you, a God who loves you. So, I mean, it's pretty an ingenious holiday if you really think about it, because you can love everyone, show everyone you love them. It's great. But I just thought that I would update everyone on my weekend, because I went and took a trip to Melbourne in southern Victoria, which is like the very, very, very south of Australia. So to start out my wonderful trip, I went last week to the doctor on Tuesday because I still didn't really feel good. Like a week before, I was just like dying and yeah, pretty much that was it. Like I couldn't turn, it was just bad. I think I mentioned it in one of my video blogs earlier, but so I went to the doctor on Tuesday and booked an appointment for Thursday because that was the closest time they had like open. So Thursday I went into the doctor and said, I was like, you know, my throat hurts, blah blah blah, and he was like, have you ever had mono? And I was like, yep, twice actually. And he was like, oh well, you can only get mono once. And I was like, but my doctors say, but what? And he was like, no, you can only get it once. I was like, but I've had it twice. I've had both blood tests saying you have mono. One when I was like 8, the other one, or like 5, the other one I was 18. I was like, whatever. So he was like, you've got strep throat. And I was like, wonderful. Okay. So I was in and out in like 15 minutes. He gave me antibiotics, or a prescription to go get antibiotics. And I was like, yay, what a great way to start a trip to go to the beach. Ironically enough, the main thing that he told me was stay out of the sun and avoid physical exhaustion, because obviously your immune system is not really good right now. What do? I go to Melbourne for a weekend and I get like 3 hours of sleep every day and go in the sun. Bad. But anyways, if you wonder what I'm looking at, by the way, I have notes to keep this video shorter than like 20 minutes long. We'll see how well that goes. But, so, Friday morning, because I don't have classes on Friday, we left. I'm going to fix this because I want to like... Okay, there we go. So, Friday morning, me, Kenza, Petra, and Tebow went to the airport. We left here at like 8 o'clock in the morning and got there at like 9-ish and then waited for our flight, which was at 10:45. It was like the smallest airport ever, I'm not even kidding you. We like walked in and through security, like they didn't even... Okay, so we had our tickets. They didn't even check my ID. They just like... We walked through. Like, we put our stuff in a little, like, our backpack on the little conveyor belt, and then we walked through the little, like, beep 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 thingy, which didn't beep 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 for me, because, I mean, obviously. And then we sat down. They didn't look at our passports, they didn't look at our photo identification, like our driver's license or whatever. Just let us on through. I had a whole bottle of water with me. I had, like, shoot. It was the weirdest thing ever. I didn't have to take off my shoes. I didn't have to like... It was weird. Anyways, so we got on the plane and a 2-hour flight to Melbourne, which is very, very far south. And it was raining and cold when we got there. Like I was wearing jeans and I packed a long sleeve shirt because I knew it was going to be slightly colder than it was up here because I looked it up. Didn't really realize how much colder it would be. So we got off the airplane and took a 2-hour trek, 2 hours to find our hostel. We finally found it. It involved like getting on a bus and then getting on a train and then getting on another I don't even know. We walked like the entire thing. And it took 2 hours, and it was raining, and it was cold, and we had we were starving, so we finally ended up meeting up with our friends who'd already eaten dinner and who'd already been like waiting at the restaurant for 2 hours because we didn't know where we were going. We had to figure it out, and so we checked in the hostel, met up with our friends, and ate food and walked around the city. All while it was raining, by the way, and all I had was like a jeans and a like tank top with a t-shirt. Ugh, I was cold. It was very cold. Note to self, buy a sweatshirt here because I don't have one. And so walked around the city. It was really cute. I really liked the city. It was like, I was like, okay, it's the city life, but I live next to the city. I've been in cities all over the States, but I don't know. I mean, this one was, it was slightly different. Like all the buildings and houses were so like this. I didn't get any pictures of them. I don't know why I didn't, but they like the style was different. Every single one, and like they have trams like in San Francisco, but the trams in San Francisco are a lot cuter than the ones here. But that's beside the point. And then so after we walked around the whole place, oh yeah, I forgot to add something in my notes, but I didn't forget, so I'll tell you. But we went back. Well, some of us went back to check out to get some stuff from the hostel, and then me, Petya, Thibaut, and Samir stayed in the city, walked around even more, and then we went up to this, it's called the Eureka Sky Tower, and you pay like money, like I think we paid like $10 because we had a student discount to go up 90 stories, I think. It was 90, it was either 90 or 91. 90 stories, which we went up there, like the elevator was so fast, like it took like 60 seconds to go up, that my ears popped twice. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in an elevator that goes up that fast, that far, but oh my gosh, it's the weirdest feeling ever. And so when we were up there, we walked all around the building, which you can, like, all glass, obviously, to look around the whole city of Melbourne. It was so cool. It was like 9 o'clock at night, so everything was dark except for all the lights, and it was like it's the highest vantage point that people are allowed to go to in the southern hemisphere. It has like two, like, I don't even remember, it's like 90 tons of water basins, I guess, on like the second and third floor below the top level so that it doesn't sway even more. It's got like all these different security measures, and like you walk out onto this balcony, and like the wind is like going at you, and you're just like looking over the edge like, oh my gosh, I could die. And it was crazy. I don't even know, it was so cool. And then after that we went to look around the town, or look around the city rather, for different like bars or clubs and stuff like that. And we ended up going to this bar that, like, it was free to get into because I guess the clubs aren't. I mean, this is all new to me, people, let's be honest here. But yeah, so we went in and we danced around, and it was nice. It was apparently I had what did he call it? Like the minute that I got in there, this guy came out of the bathroom and like shook my hand, but like did some weird thing. He was definitely like completely, I don't know what he was, stoned or something. What does that say? Oh, my is that? I think it says my battery's dying. But he was like, we just had earthly natural, we just made love earthly or something like. I was like, okay, cool. It was really weird. It was bizarre. Anyways, so that was fun. And then we woke up the next day at 7 o'clock in the morning to go, because we'd rented 2 cars. So we picked up those cars and then we drove to more southern Melbourne. Sorry, dropped my notes again. We drove to southern Melbourne, even more so, or southern Victoria rather, to drive on this, like, the Great Ocean Road. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive, just this road, like, kind of like in West Virginia, all the windy, turny roads and stuff. But it was all next to the ocean. So cool, so pretty, so gorgeous. We would stop and, like, go on the beach and take pictures and, like, marvel at the ocean. I mean, it's magnificent. It's crazy. At one point we stopped on the side of the road because we saw these people, like, looking in the tree. We were like, what are they looking at? Happened to be wild koalas just sleeping there, like, what? And that was cool because, like, everyone I've talked to is like, oh yeah, you're not really gonna see wild koalas or wild kangaroos unless you're, like, in the western, like, outback. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But sure enough, we not only saw them, there was one, like, 2 feet in front of me. Hopefully if I find the video, you'll see it. But it was just, like, chilling there. Like, the guy next to me went and petted it. Touched the wild koala. I was like, what? It was so cool. So cool. I got pictures and you'll see that stuff later. So then after driving, it was so weird being on the opposite side of the road. It was crazy. It was so cute because I was teaching my friend how to drive an automatic car because he'd never driven one before. He was like, Tootie, why is it not starting? Or why is it not going? I was just like, oh, well, this and this and this and that. It made me feel really special. I was like, yay! Anyways, we ended up at this, the very end is this huge rock formation. It's called the 12 Apostles. Not exactly sure why they're called the Apostles, but I'm sure I'll research it or something and find out. And they're just rock formations that are formed. I got a video of it that explains a little bit more of what they are. Absolutely beautiful. Like, you're high and just, like, all you see is, like, the ocean, and it's just like, wow, I'm tiny. Like, oh my gosh, could I get any smaller? No, I don't think so. And then after that, like, we found this path to go walk on the water, like, or the shoreline like, we were up here, and then we walked down, like, we drove down, and we're walking on the next to the water, and that was really cool. And then we went and drove next to it, like, found another spot that had, like, a natural waterfall or something, and we happened to see there, like, this couple got married, and they were taking their pictures, and this guy calls up to us and is like, hey, you guys, come here, come look at this, it's an echidna. And it's like, I was like, I don't know what that is, and he was like, it's on the dollar bill or whatever. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And it was like a porcupine looking thing, and he was like, you guys are really lucky, like, these are really rare, very few people get to see them in Australia. And I touched it. It was so cool because he touched it, so I was like, okay, I might as well touch it. And it was so cool. It was so cool. And that's what, like, I love Australians, mainly because people are just so friendly. Like, it's just, like, we have that in the States, but at the same, like, especially in the South, but at the same time, like, some random person is like, hey, come here, like, look at this is really cool. And, like, I was asking him, like, are they poisonous, like, what do they do, what is it doing, like, it was really cool. Hopefully if I find that video, you'll see it too. And that was really cool. P.S. the reason I'm talking so quickly is because I don't know what this little oh no! What is that? I don't know what that means. Maybe if it's flashing like 0 minutes, and I think that means the battery life. So I'm gonna not exactly sure what just happened, but I clearly had to plug in my camera, and yeah, it's working now, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that was really cool. And then we drove back. Fortunately, figured our way back to our hostel. We got there at so our day started when we woke up at 6 or 7, one of those two in the morning, and then we finally got back to our hostel at 1:30-ish too, maybe. Spent a while talking about how we were going to go to the airport the next day, where we were dropping off the cars and all that stuff. And then 3 people went out to another bar because it was the last night in Melbourne. But I was like, I'm dead. I'm exhausted. I really need to sleep, considering, you know, I'm sick and I don't really want to stay up even later. So I took a shower and went to sleep. Got 3 hours of sleep in the hostel. It was a really cute hostel though. It was, I don't know, I really, really liked it. It was clean, the beds were comfortable, I didn't, by the time, every time that we walked into our rooms, it was, really late, so everyone else was sleeping, and we'd woke up really early, and everyone else was sleeping, and it was, I don't know, it was fine. It was cute. It had a little hangout area and a little computer area and a kitchen that you could have free breakfast, and stuff like that. It was really nice. $50 for 2 nights, which is pretty much what you're going to get everywhere here. And so that was really cool. So the next morning we woke up at 6, left the hostel, found our way to the airport, dropped off our stuff, waited in line, really long security line, but still not as crazy long as anything in the States. Got on the plane, flew home. It was a long, long morning. We got back at 10-ish. Made it back to we took a bus to, 2 buses, one got off, got on another. But while we were waiting for the second one, some of the girls went shopping for groceries. I ordered mine online last night because I was like, there's no way I'm shopping right now. I'm too tired and dead. But while we were waiting for the second bus, this guy, he's listening to his iPod shuffle next to me and drinking a Jack Daniels, 11 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't interesting. It was he just he turns to me and he's like, hey, can I ask you something? And I was like, okay. And he took out his headphone and gave it to me, and I was like, okay. And it was dirty. He was dirty. But I was put it next to my ear, and it was some woman singing, and he was she's singing about Rwanda and how she took her daughter there to help them, and he was like, I wish I could do that. More people need to do that. Why don't people do that? And I was like, well, you could do that. And we just I was like, you could go up to northern Queensland and help with the floods. And he was just we just kept talking, and then we'd stop talking and he'd have another song for me to listen to, and then that one was about God and having hope in people, and we just went back and forth and back and forth. I'm telling you, this bus took forever to get here, so we had a 30-minute conversation, just about really random things, and he was really nice, and he was definitely drunk or something. It was definitely a new experience for me, but it was cool. He was like, I like you. At one point he was like, you need to stop being smarter than me. I'm normally the smart one in conversations. I like you. And I was like, well, thank you. And he was like, he asked me my name a few times, and I found out his was John, and it was really cool. It was a nice way to end the trip. And then I finally, the bus came, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but I have to go. It was nice meeting you. And he was like, nice meeting you too. He didn't really know what was going, I don't know. It was interesting. He was funny, that's for sure. But I made it home and slept all day and all night. And I woke up early. I woke up at 10:30 or something, which is early for me naturally. And that was exciting. And now here I am, leaving you a video blog after my day of classes. Well, I only had 2, so it wasn't that hard. And they're interesting. We talked about all the different kinds of depressant and stimulant drugs in my drugs class, and we watched a video on meth. Good stuff, right? But yeah, and I think I haven't heard, but I think in an hour I'm going to dinner with some people. One of my friends who I met from the Christian group was like, hey, a bunch of us are going to a Valentine's dinner, you want to come? And I was like, yes, because today doesn't feel like Valentine's Day at all, and I want to spend it with people who I don't really know that well and can get to know them better. So yeah, that was my weekend and my week and my day so far. And mini shout out, welcome to the Faith family, welcome to Sigma again, but more specifically the most awesome family ever, to my grand little and my grand nieces. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many people in my family now. But yeah, I can't wait to hang out with you guys and have a lot of fun. And oh, and also shout out to my sister. I absolutely love you. I got your package today with my my calendar with my nieces and pictures and things, and it was awesome, and it was the best Valentine's Day Valentine's Day surprise I think I've ever gotten, and it made me so happy. And I taped the little picture of Annabeth's little note, like birth announcement. I taped it into my agenda book so I can see it every day, and I haven't quite figured out where I'm putting the calendar, because right now you can see it's on the floor over there. Can you see it? Yeah, it's right there. But that's because I was cleaning my room today and getting ready to do laundry, and I got distracted. But I need to figure out where to put that. But it made me so happy. Here we go. This is yay. It was a good day. Good day. But yeah, okay, that's it. I'm gonna look for the videos of the beach and the koala and the echidna thingy, and yeah, and I'll put them on later. But I hope everyone's having a great day, and au revoir.